Okay, when I jump into demo7, I want to show you something called JSON. JSON is a very useful, convenient, efficient way for your Ajax-powered application, your web-based application, to communicate with the database using PHP or some other server-side script to communicate with the database and send that information back. Now, before I show you the power of JSON, I have to show you how things, I have to really hammer home how things are currently being generated up to this point. So I'm looking at results3.php. Okay, and what's going on here, this is PHP code that is connecting to the database. It's looking for some information being sent over, so it's looking for growth equals something. All right. And it's grabbing that information out of the database. And then what it's doing is it's echoing or sending to the browser HTML. So that if you're familiar with HTML and H3 should be very familiar. So here we go, H3, and it's saying, let's say for example, 15 counties with growth greater than 15%. And so it's outputting that information, and then we're using jQuery to grab that HTML and just bring it back in. Well, when we start to get into some of the more complex Ajax applications, grabbing the HTML is a little too basic for us. It becomes very cumbersome to grab that information. So think about it like this. JSON is going to be the glue. JSON is just a way to organize the data. So rather than sending back HTML, what we're going to do is we're going to send data to a PHP page. So the data is name equals value, name equals value, name equals value. So it's just pure data going over to a PHP page. Well, why don't we just send pure data back? Well, how are we going to organize that data? We have to organize it in some sort of structure so that when it comes back to the jQuery code, that we can go through it and pull the information out and do something useful with it. So up until now we've been using HTML. That's not a useful structure. What we're going to do is we could either use XML or what we could use is JSON. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about JSON and how it's structured, you could simply go over to Google and type in JSON and hit enter. And I didn't mean to do that. All right. So you could go over to JSON and look at an example of what JSON code looks like. So this is the way that JSON information is formulated. Now this looks really complex if it's the first time that you've seen it, but it's actually not that difficult. And PHP 5 comes with some functions that makes it very, very easy for you to work with JSON code. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So let's go to demo7. Now I have to warn you, demo7 is not going to do anything useful. What I want to do is give you a way to see the JSON information as it comes back. So let's go to demo7. It's the same as demo6, except that it's posting the information to a page called results4.php. Okay, so it shows you 4 counties with growth greater than 25%. Now when I hit get details, you're not going to get anything easily recognizable. You're going to get JSON code. So this is the way that the data is organized. Now notice that it's just county equals this, county equals that, county equals this, county equals that. So it's just pure data being sent back. So I can bump it up to 30, get details, and it shows 3 results. So this is how the information is organized. But if we know how to use, how to manipulate or cycle through JSON data when it comes back, and jQuery makes it very easy to do that, as I will show you, then this is a very efficient way for you to set up your web application to communicate with the database and receive the information back, and then you can cycle through the information, put pins on a Google map, as I'll show you soon, or do all sorts of things. So I wanted to show you very quickly how what JSON looks like, where you could go to get more information about it, and in that way, once we move on to demo 8, this will make a lot more sense. But JSON is a very, very powerful way for you to send information from your database back to your jQuery web application powered page. Or I should say your web application powered by jQuery.